This is actually the oldest suburb. What do you see? There's always something happening in the city. Mortal Kombat. We're in Brisbane and we're going to look at the oldest building in Queensland. So in 1828, the convicts built this mill right here on top of this hill. The only problem was Brisbane wasn't cooperating. The wind did not hit this windmill. As you can see, Hully's back. So this was a mill that was actually constructed by prisoners, and they were brought here because there was no wind. So they were actually made to come here kind of like a giant hamster wheel. The early Brisbane settlement was growing wheat and corn, but they needed somewhere to grind it. So now you'd think putting a windmill on top of a hill would be a great idea. The windmill didn't operate as planned, so they actually had to take the top off the windmill. As you can see, it doesn't have a windmill type of deal up here. So they actually it was like a big hamster wheel in here. Convicts were used as sometimes up to 12 hours a day to sit in there and actually walk around the thing to actually grind and mill the flour and the wheat. What do you see?
There's just a big wood plank in the middle, like all throughout, like a clock tower.
So that would have turned. No, that thing there would have turned. They would have walked on the floor and there would have been a thing there that turned around and turned that big wood thing. Yeah, and it would have ground the mill. It would have, they would have put his wheat in there and it would have ground it down to meal and flour. So yeah, so they placed it on top of the hill overlooking the settlement, but they didn't realize it wasn't going to work. This is actually the oldest suburb, the first suburb after the Mortal Kombat, the Moreton Bay penal colony. Mortal Kombat.
You can tell where your mind's at. He didn't care about the Moreton Bay, he cared about Mortal Kombat.
A bit of action over there. There's always something happening in the city. He's on the action. Go on. Brisbane City Police on the move. They're on the hunt. They're on the hunt. The cops are after someone again. So imagine being a prisoner here in the 1820s and being forced to come up here and placed on sort of like stairs that never ended. In the mid-1940s, the mill's original purpose was actually finished. The grinding stopped, but incredibly, the building's story didn't end there. This building actually contains a much darker story. In 1841, 2 Indigenous men were actually executed here, Mullen and Ningaville. The execution wasn't simply about carrying out a sentence either. The location was actually chosen because of the proximity to the Aboriginal camp. It was indeed a warning. When the Moreton Bay penal settlement moved from Redcliffe, Brisbane in 1825, the authorities were trying to make a settlement more self-sufficient. They were growing wheat and maize but needed a better way of turning that grain into flour and meal. So they built the mill on a high point overlooking the settlement. The reason this tower even exists goes back to a very simple problem: food. All right, so in 1829, a prisoner named Michael Collins became caught in the machinery and was killed here. So the building wasn't simply a place where Brisbane early settlers made flour. For convicts, it was a place of punishment and maybe death. The treadmill and the prisoners' torture and the death itself wasn't enough. The windmill was constantly breaking down. In 1836, the windmill actually was struck by lightning and needed repairs. So, in 1855, the building became a signal station communicating with ships between Brisbane River and the entrance of town. All right, so literally the car is there and the tower we were looking for is up there. So it was like a 5-minute walk and we literally walked around for an hour in the city trying to find it. And we're just gonna chill now and walk the city. So what's your favorite part of Brisbane City? Let me know in the comments. Where are you from, what suburb, and where you want me to check out next. We've checked out Toombul, all my new subs, that was great. Whoop.